Welcome back, folks, guys and gals. Greg Silverman here for another session of Come Learn With Me. This is a feature in our Come Learn With Me uranium segment. Uranium and nuclear energy is something that we're focused on quite intensely as a mini theme. For all our mini themes, check below in the description and you'll see a link to our LinkedIn groups. Also have Facebook groups, but LinkedIn groups will do. And this article is of great interest because it has significant impact on uranium prices. So let's dig in. Kazakhstan Unrest pushes up uranium and oil prices. The resource-rich country accounts for about 40% of the world's uranium output, which it sells to utilities in the US and elsewhere. So, a lot of rumblings going on in the old Soviet Union, and I think Ukraine notwithstanding, I think that's dealt with in the article as well. All right. Wow, look at that. Troops patrolled a square in Almaty, Kazakhstan on Thursday as turmoil gripped the country. Instability in Kazakhstan, the world's biggest uranium producer, threatens to curb output and boost prices at the same time supplies of the nuclear fuel are becoming tighter. Dozens of people died Thursday. Dozens, wow. Authorities moved against protesters after several days of unrest and the arrival of Russian-led military alliance to quell the disorder. Right. None of that sentence is good, is it? Traders and Western mining companies said the protests might make it difficult to transport workers and equipment to mine sites when shifts rotate and could gum up exports out of the country. Kazakhstan, a Russian ally, produced about 40% of the world's uranium output and sells it to utilities in the US and other Western countries, as well as China. It has established a reputation as a reliable supplier. This is a fairly new article. Let's see. Jan 6th, yeah, it's only a few days old. Kazakhstan, a Russian uranium prices have jumped since the protests erupted Sunday in Kazakhstan's western Mangistau region over rising energy prices, prompting the government to resign. A lightly processed form of uranium known as U3O8 was expected to change hands above $46 a pound on Thursday, traders said. That is up from $45.25 on Wednesday and $42 at the start of the year. The protest pushed crude oil prices higher to 2. Kazakhstan is a member of the OPEC alliance and produced about 1.7 million barrels of oil a day in November. According to the International Energy Agency, just under 2% of what the world consumed each day last year. Chevron, which owns 50% of the joint venture that runs Kazakhstan's Tengiz oil field, said it had cut production after protests in the facility. Production operations continue, however, there has been temporary adjustment to output due to logistics, the Chevron spokesman said. A number of contractor employees are gathered at the Tengiz field in support of protests taking place across Kazakhstan. The unrest could affect uranium deliveries if it isn't resolved quickly, traders and mining companies said. Most mining in Kazakhstan is carried out by a process called in-situ leaching that requires a steady supply of pipes to line wells that are drilled in the ground, as well as sulfuric acid to pump uranium to the surface. One of the cheaper methods of mining uranium, in situ. Wow. The instability struck at a vulnerable time for uranium markets. Prices are more than 50% higher than they were 12 months ago, according to UXC LLC. The upswing ended a long downturn sparked by the Japanese reactor meltdown in 2011, which led Japan and Germany to close nuclear power stations, eroding demand. Shares of National Atomic Company Kazatomprom, JSC, the state-owned uranium miner, fell 6.7% in London on Thursday. Planned deliveries to customers haven't been interrupted yet because the miners keep 6 to 7 months' worth of uranium inventory around the world, the Kazatomprom spokesman said by email. Of course, there's going to be an impact when you have cities and towns in lockdown, limited data communications, and a financial system temporary shutdown. Yet, supplies have winnowed down in part because investors have bought the fuel in a bet governments will embrace nuclear energy to plug carbon emissions. Kazatomprom and Canada's Cameco Corp, the second biggest producer, have cut output to drain the glut that emerged after Japanese Fukushima nuclear plant disaster in 2011. That's 11 years ago. The city street in Almaty, Kazakhstan was littered with debris Thursday following unrest over an increase in fuel prices. Sure. Cameco, which owns 40% of a joint uranium venture with Kazatomprom at in-situ in central southern Kazakhstan, couldn't communicate with its employees there for a time when the internet went down. A person familiar with the matter said the company has re-established contact with its team. Logistical difficulties could reduce production, the person said. Nuclear reactors run by utilities that typically buy uranium years in advance won't immediately take a hit from rising prices, but reliance on Kazakh and Canadian uranium might lead utilities to diversify their suppliers, said Arthur Hyde, a partner at uranium-focused hedge fund Segra Capital Management. Oh, okay. That's the new one. Haven't come across another uranium-focused hedge fund. We know a few. Over the past 15 years, Kazakhstan has been unbelievably stable supplier, Mr. Hyde said. If Kazakhstan is starting to be viewed as less stable, there aren't a lot of places to go. All right. Well, there you have it, guys. That's interesting. Again, we've been interested and focused on uranium. You can check out our Come Learn With Me Uranium series on YouTube. There's just a lot of information and research on uranium. If you'd like to know how we're investing in the space, then please come and visit us on the investment link, which is up here and also down below. And if you are offering investments in the uranium space and you'd like to reach our accredited investor network, then get hold of me on this link, the Looking Over the Managed Shoulder webinar link. So we got something for everybody. All right, guys, interesting article. And we wish all the people of Kazakhstan well and safety. This is Greg Silverman, out for now.